The first ever criminal trial of an American president is drawing to a close in Manhattan criminal court after 5 weeks of extraordinary testimony and courtroom antics.
Remember, I have a gag order. I'm not supposed to be talking about certain things. And so being very careful, but you saw what happened.
Donald Trump is charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records. He allegedly tried to conceal a $130,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels before the 2016 presidential election to ensure her silence about a sexual encounter. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty to the charges and denies the affair. Both the prosecution and defense have rested their cases, and closing arguments are set for Tuesday, May 28th. The jury will then begin deliberations. With the trial nearing its end, here's what to expect. Prosecutors must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Trump intentionally made or directed others to falsify business records. Under New York state law, criminal trials require the jury to reach a unanimous verdict to convict, so it would only take one dissenting voice among the jurors to result in a hung jury. If convicted, Mr. Trump could theoretically face more than a decade in prison, but because he has no prior criminal record and the alleged crimes are nonviolent, he will likely face no jail time. Instead, New York Justice Juan Merchan could impose other penalties, such as fines. If Mr. Trump is convicted, Justice Merchan could choose to sentence him immediately or set a sentencing hearing for a later date. The former president could appeal the verdict. Mr. Trump could also be convicted on some of the 34 charges and acquitted on others. If the jury reaches that consensus, it could prompt the judge to accept a partial verdict. But the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, could move to retry Mr. Trump in that scenario. The jury could also decide the former president is not guilty on all charges. But if the jury cannot come to a consensus, the judge could call for a mistrial. In that event, the prosecution would be able to retry the case. A decision in the historic trial is expected in the near future, as the fate of the former president hangs in the balance of 12 New York residents.